Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? It is absolutely incredible to be with you guys on this Sunday, and this is it. This is going to be our first one. We've done some mock drafts, first round, second round. We've done some third rounds. We've done some all the way up to the fourth round. We're going ham today. We're the very first official 7-round mock draft for the 49ers. And so it's Sunday. Sundays are for football. That's just the way it was written. And so that's what we're going to be doing here today. So excited, trades involved, all those things, jumping up, jumping down, staying in place. Going to be hearing from you guys. And if you're joining us live, I want to say thank you. You're the scouts in the room, right? I'll be the GM, and I'll make the final decisions. But y'all can persuade me now. And so if there's guys that you're in love with or not, we need to hear that. And appreciate all the hashtag CCs. What's up, Sean? We got my man, Steven. What's up, buddy? What's going on? Hugo, Guillermo. We got lots of great people. Oh, Darren, what's up, man? 808, live from Hawaii. I freaking love it. The people are awesome. Liliana, appreciate you. Hashtag CC. Dave, Colin, and Kim from across the pond. Even Corey Wallace. I love it. Mike, my man. We got a lot of fun. This is going to be good. So a couple just real quick reminders before we jump into this. We do have our Zoom hangout this Thursday, the 28th of this month at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to join us, details have already been posted on the 49ersrush.com and on our Patreon page. If you want to join us, it's an hour-long meeting. We're going to be talking draft, free agency, where they should go, probably some Ayuk talk. Everybody's got an opinion on that. But today's show, it's all about mock draft, baby. We're going to be doing a 7-round normal speed draft. We'll talk in between picks of the 49ers. We're going to be using the Pro Football Network's NFL mock draft simulator. I like to always use different ones because you never know how it's going to go. And so we're off. We are starting this draft. Caleb Williams went 1. Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison, Roma Dunze, Malik Neighbors, Dallas Turner. The top 10 started like it's supposed to start. And I'm going to stop it around 20 just so we can kind of catch our breath and see who's still available. The Rams at 19th picked Johnny Newton. Amarius Mims with 18th, which makes you really, really happy. And so once we get to spot 20, I feel like that's kind of now we're entering into almost trade territory. Not quite. I think it's a little too rich to trade up that much, personally. Look at this. Phil says, jump up, get a center. Me and Phil agree on a lot of things in life. Drafting a sitter is very high priority for me. Rick, appreciate you, buddy. Says, good morning. How are you, my friend? I'm doing great. It's been a great Sunday so far. I ain't going to lie. Jax, the best. It's been a minute. I miss you, girl. I hope all is well. You're the absolute best. We got Invader, Niner, Vince. It's going to be a fun show, man. I'm excited about this. So let's look at the big board picking 20. Man, there's some studs. At 20, there's studs. Jared Verse, the defensive end, has fallen. He's there. J.C. Latham, good gosh, might be one of the most complete offensive tackles in this draft, and that's including Joe Alt. I mean, there will be teams that have J.C. Latham their number one tackle. He is that clean a prospect. Brian Thomas, Chop Robinson, Nate Wiggins, Byron Murphy, Kool-Aid, Tyler Guyton, Graham Barton. There's a lot of guys. So we're picking at 11 spots. I'm going to let it run just a little bit. I think this is too rich to trade up here. So I'm going to let the draft resume. Kool-Aid's gone. Verse is gone. Chop's gone. Keon Coleman's gone. Brian Thomas. J.C. Latham went at 25. Now we're sitting at pick 26. And this is the territory that I think somebody's probably upset. Maybe we should have traded up at 25, but it's still a little too spicy. And I'm still not sold on trading up, to be honest with you. It's not a bad thing, but let's look at who's available at 26. Nate Wiggins, amazing corner. Cooper DeJean, amazing corner. Byron Murphy, that's 3 studs that I think will have a very difficult time being here come draft day. Tyler Guyton, I know tackle's very important for a lot of people. I agree. Tyler Guyton's very low on my list. He's a back end of the second round grade for me. I'm not the biggest Tyler Guyton fan. Graham Barton's there. A.D. Mitchell, Jordan Morgan, there's Darius Robinson, Zack Frasier. And so, like, if I'm traded up right now, it's for a corner probably. But the Niners have never taken a corner earlier than the 3rd round. So to talk about jumping up for a corner, it's a little rich for my taste. Now, I did a poll over on Twitter, and I created this scenario. Trade up to pick 22 and get offensive tackle Troy Fontenot. You'd give up a 1st, 3rd, and a 4th to do that. Now, Troy Fontenot's off the board. Now, the second option was stay at 31 and take tackle Jordan Morgan. He seems to be kind of the hit the ball in the middle of the fairway type of pick. You know, just stay and take what's available at a position of need. Or number 3, trade back and get Zack Frasier and pick up an extra 3rd, early 4th rounder. And it's split. Most people wanted to stay. 25% wanted to trade up. 24% wanted to trade back. I thought that was a really fun poll. I was hoping one of the tackles would still be there at this spot. Maybe we should have traded up earlier than J.C. Latham to get him. I would love that. I'm not sold on Alabama tackles, but damn, he's a clean player. Dr. Stephen Brule, lots of injuries for Morgan. I don't think they draft him. The one thing I could say about Jordan Morgan is how tough he is. That dude, he has, look at this, 2,404 snaps. It's like nobody has more snaps than Jordan Morgan. It's at the top of the top of the top. So, yeah, he has some injuries, but he played through them all. He's 23 years old. He has played for 5 consecutive years, did tear his ACL in 2022. That's an issue. But then he went back and played like nonstop. He played almost 800 snaps after the torn ACL. And so, yeah, for some people, Steve, I think you're right. The ACL is scary in 2022, but he has 800 snaps after that, and probably some of his best. What's up, my man, Matt? Matt Mellon in the house. Appreciate it. Dim says this. I like trading out of the 1st and getting another 2 or 3. Can snag Suamata, Paul, Blake, and trade up later to get Melton. He usually goes in the 50s. That sounds like somebody that is a mock draft savant. I love it. Yeah, Invader. Yeah, I feel you, man. Should have moved up for Latham at 23. I feel you. And that's why we do these mock drafts, because we try to figure out where the misses are, and we missed. Yeah, I'm with you. I would love to have J.C. Latham on this freaking team. Just slide him into right tackle, just be good to go. And so we don't have him now. We snoozed, we lose. That's my fault. My contract might not be renewed as GM, but that's okay. Right here. He says, John, do you think we will pick up a tight end to replace Charlie? Yeah, I do. I don't think Latu is the answer either. I think Braden Willis is closer to that. But back to Dr. Steve Brule, respect your work, doctor. He says, going back to Jordan Morgan, missed 3 games in 2020, torn ACL in 2022. But again, he has more tape, more snaps than any other tackle in this draft that's going to go in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round. Paul is the other one that has more. That's it. So I don't think that there's an issue personally. Like, a lot of these guys weren't even in college in 2022. He's got the tape personally, played through a sprain. He's tough, man. I don't dock him for health personally. Maybe I don't think so. He played 800 snaps last year and was awesome. His best year. So I think that's behind him. That's just me personally. And I know Trent Baalke would have no problem with it. But yeah, if he didn't have the longevity and the number of starts that he has, I mean, that dude just started so many games, 37 career starts. That's freaking awesome for Jordan Morgan. Now, I don't like his tape as much as a lot of other people. That's my issue with him. But right here, I'm not seeing a trade-up option. And I'm just like, man, let's just let it roll. I'd be happy with Wiggins, DeJean, Murphy. That's 4. Graham Barton, 5. And we're picking at 6 picks. Jordan Morgan, 6. So I'm not trading up. I'm going to just go to our pick and we'll see what we got, what's left. Tyler Guyton went, Cooper DeJean, Xavier, Graham Barton went. I'll talk about our trades that are available, but we're sitting at 31, and Byron Murphy Jr., my favorite player in the draft, not one of, my favorite player in the draft, is sitting there. There's some other options too, but let's go through some of these trades because already I can tell you I like these trades because you got a quarterback sitting there. Bo Nix is still on the board. Michael Penix Jr. is still on the board. Carolina is offering us to fall back 2 spots. Number 33 and pick 101. We give up 31 and 176. So we give up this pick and we give up, I think that's a 7th. Is 176? No, it's not 7th. I'm a goofball. Clicked on the wrong one. 176 is the last pick in the 5th round, a comp pick. So we'd give up this pick and our 5th rounder to jump up and get pick 101, which is the very first pick of the 4th round. So we drop back 2 spots and we jump up 75 for the next one. I love this trade. Let's see what else. We got a couple other trade options on there. The Houston Texans, D'Amico Ryans. They want our pick 31 for pick 42, so we'd fall back 11, but we'd pick up number 59. That's a first and a late second. So, this tier of player, Byron Murphy sitting there, that's a blue chip player in my book. I love that trade. Man, that's a good trade. And then right here, Denver's crazy. Sean Payton's crazy. They're offering us pick 76, so a 3rd rounder, plus next year's 1st, plus next year's 3rd. I would take that trade, but I'm not going to. It's a little crazy to me. I don't think Sean Payton's going to do it, so I'm going to remove that as not likely because that Denver pick could be a top 5, top 10 pick next year. There's no way Denver's offering that pick up. This is the mock draft simulator. AI went a little too crazy. So I'm just going to X that one out on my own. And so, yeah, both trades are tempting. Let's look at the board again. Byron Murphy, A.D. Mitchell, Kingsley Suamata, Jordan Morgan's there, Christian Haynes, Darius Robinson, Ladd McConkey, Devondre Sweat, Zack Frasier, Rook's there. I mean, there are studs. And it's rake straw. We're taking a trade, ladies and gentlemen. If I was staying at this pick, I'm taking Byron Murphy. I'm not even hesitating there. He's the best player. He's going to be, in that 10 to 13 range whenever I finish my rankings. I love him. Right here. I love this. Dumpster Fire Dan. Thanks for the super chat. Murphy or trade down? I'm with you. So now the question, let's do this. We got to vote, and we're going to go based off the chat. This is to you guys. We're taking a trade back. Do we want to trade back 2 spots and jump up 75? So we'd get pick 33 and 101 from the Panthers, or we drop back 11 spots all the way to 42. So most of the guys that are at the top of this list are going to be gone, but we pick up pick 59, a 2nd rounder. Drop back 2 spots and get an early 4th, or drop back 11 spots and get a late 2. So I need y'all to put in the chat. Texans trade, that's a big drop back 1st and 2nd, or Panthers trade. This is round table. Now, in the draft itself, for what the 49ers do, the war room, they're on a time crunch. We're good. We're running the clock. So we're good. We got time. And this is our first pick. Dan says, if Frasier's there at 42, you win the draft. I agree. I'm higher on Frasier than anybody I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody. I don't have a 1st-round grade on Zack Frasier, interior offensive lineman from West Virginia, but he's in my top 31. He's there. And so somebody's like, wait a second. You didn't have a 1st-round grade, but he's top 31. There's 32 1st-rounders. That's not how it works. Most teams have 15 to 20 1st-round grades, some even lower than that, really 12 to 18. I'm still going through a lot of positions. I haven't spent a lot of time on like quarterbacks and positions the 49ers don't really need. But, usually I'm close to 20 1st-round grades. Frasier's right outside of that, but he'll be in my top 30 players. I love that dude. Texans trade 22 49ers. I don't know which one that is. Let's see here. Trade down for sure. Panthers trade. Not 11. Take Carolina, Houston, Texans, Panthers trade. We're split. 2 spots. Texans. Yeah, Texans. It's close. Panthers, Texans. Murphy or Houston trade. I think the Texans has the most votes. Early on was Panthers. Everybody else came in late. And so, yeah. Yeah. Man, I got to link up with Wayne. We got to do another show together. That dude's recording like 3-4 times. He says, where's the John Wayne show? Oh, it's never going away. It's never going away. Wayne, he's too damn good. So the Texans vote has the most votes. So we're dropping down. Now, here's what's good about the Texans trade. We don't have to go all the way down to 42. We can jump back up. But I'm accepting this trade. So the 49ers are giving up pick 31, which negatives. We lose our 5th-year option possibility. That hurts. Teams usually exercise that 5th-year option about a third of the time. We missed a lot in the first round, but not completely. Ayuk, we picked up the 5th-year option. Obviously, Bosa, McGlinchey, we picked that up. Didn't for Kinlaw, didn't for Reuben Foster, didn't for Solomon Thomas. So you can kind of see. We've actually, the 49ers, and a lot of people are going to sit there and say, man, we've missed so much in the first round. We suck in the first round. The 49ers, since Shanahan and Lynch have shown up, have a higher rate of 5th-year option first-round picks than the average NFL by a considerable margin. Are they the best? No. Do they have misses? Yes. Are they good in the first round? I don't want to go that far. But to say we're bad in the first round, I'm definitely not going that far. We are way over the league average as far as just picking up a 5th-year option on a first-round draft pick. That being our only measurement, the Niners are ahead of the curve. Maybe just slightly, but that's what's up. What's up, Cubs? He says, John, 49er Faithful UK shouts you out so much. I listen to their show all the time. Paul, Hope, Lee, Eric was on there the other day. What's up, Erico? I freaking love them. And I got to do a show with them. We did it last year. We'll do it again. I need to, it's time to run the circuit. But shout out to the Faithful UK. I could not be bigger fans of those amazing human beings. And I'm hoping we get a London game this year. So we're taking the trade. Pick 31, we're trading with D'Amico. Pick 42 and 59 coming back. Accepted. Now I'm pausing the trade. They traded up for Adonai Mitchell. TJ Tampa goes on the board. So I'm going to resume, but slow. Darius Robinson gone. Jordan Morgan gone. We're picking in 7 now. Man, Byron Murphy's still sitting there. What if we jump back up and get... I wonder what it would cost. Let's see. Byron Murphy's still there. I'm going to propose a trade. So the Cardinals are on the clock. Yes, inter-division trades happen. I'm going to offer them our 42. We picked up a second earlier. So we're going to jump up 7 picks. I'm going to offer our first, or our next pick, which is pick 42 overall, and 124. I don't think that they'll take this trade. If we look at how much is it on the draft trade chart, 550 is what that number 35 pick Arizona Cardinals is worth. We're picking 42. We have to come up with 70 points. 124 is worth 48. I'm just going to try it. I'm going to try to get a value trade. If they take it, great. If they don't, shrug our shoulders. We'll try next pick. So I'm offering 42 and 124 for pick 35 to jump up and get Byron Murphy. I would love this. Let's see. Trade with, confirm proposal. Yep. Trade was rejected. They said no. Who did they take? They took Christian Haynes. I'm going to try it with Washington now. I'm going to do the same trade. As long as he's on the board. And this is probably one of the favorite things that John Lynch and them do. They will not overpay. They'll talk about trades. They're not going to overpay. So I'm going to offer the same thing. 42 and 124 for 36 to the Commanders. Proposed, confirmed, trade rejected. Didn't go through. And they took them. So, wow. They traded up. So the Cardinals traded up and offered more than us. Cardinals back-to-back picks, Christian Haynes and Byron Murphy. Damn. That's really, really good. I'm just going to let it flow now. I'm not seeing anybody I want to trade up for. Ladd McConkey goes, Cameron Kitchens, Edgerrin Cooper. Now the 49ers are on the clock. Before I even look at the trade possibilities, let's look at what is on the board? Darren 808, appreciate the super chat. Do you ever do a what would John Chapman do during the real draft and compare? Yeah, it's like the legend, Peacock. He did the shadow draft for a long time, which was always awesome. One of my favorite things. I love. He's great at what he does. Now he's with Crocker, another stud. I do, and we've gone live every year for the draft, and the days 1 and day 2, and I want to do that again. And we were able to nail a lot of picks. Drake Jackson was one that I hit. I wish I didn't because that was a bust. Maybe not. I don't want to use that term, but it's been absolutely horrible so far. But yeah, it's fun. And Darren, we're going to be. I'm still scoping out spots, so I want to do a live draft party days 1 and day 2 here in the San Francisco area, the Bay Area. I'm looking for, if you guys have any ideas, let me know of spots. I've got a couple spots that I'm already vetting and trying to work through, but I need some more help. Spot for 100 to 150 people where we can go in and we can do a live 49ers draft party in the Bay Area. And we got the TVs with ESPN and NFL Network. I'll be broadcasting live, kind of walking through, narrating, but we'll also be doing giveaways and trivia and competitions and all that stuff. So if you know of a good spot in the Bay Area, reach out, 49ersrushpodcast@gmail.com. Shoot me an email or message me wherever. Twitter, probably the best spot at JL_Chapman. But if you know of a spot, I'm new to the area, sports bar type beer garden / whatever that you think, let's set it up. Why not? Let's have a good time. So big board. Both quarterbacks still there. Tavondre Sweat, Zack Frasier. Zack Frasier is the guy I want. Adisa Isaac, Troy Franklin, Rook's there. Inish Rakestraw. Like, there's still some studs. Patrick Paul, Jalen Polk, Jatavian Sanders. Like, this is just such a good draft. John Chapman sitting here. Zack Frasier's who I want. And I shouldn't use that. A lot of times people will send me their mock drafts, which I love. I love giving my opinions. But some people will trade back 4 times and trade up 6 times and take advantage of the AI and, get like 50 picks. I don't want to do that. I don't think that the 49ers would trade down all the way to 42 unless you get some extra premium players. But I'm sure as hell not going to trade down again. I don't even want to look at the offers. And I understand there's probably some great offers in there, but the 49ers are getting a premium top 50 player. I think that makes sense. So I'm sitting here as the general manager, John Lynch, and I'm saying, look, guys, we're taking Zack Frasier. He's going to be our center or interior guard. My question to you is, scouts, am I overlooking anybody? Is there somebody I'm missing? Is there somebody that we just talked about on the big board that you're like, get this guy, get this guy, get this guy? Because I'm sitting there and Zack Frasier's the easy pick for me. Hey, Sin, how are you? Vince says Frasier. Frasier all the way. Frasier is easy. Yeah. Man, you tell me what you want there. It says Frasier. Thank you, Phil, the super chat. Now, let me read. I did a full breakdown on Frasier. This is up over on the 49ersrush.com and our Patreon page. I love this dude. 6'3", 313, strong, 30 bench press reps, physicality, and attitude. This is Zack Frasier. I think center's his best spot, but he can play either of the guards and center. Lack of length will remove him from certain teams' boards. Shanahan doesn't care about that. Incredible flexibility for a big man, huge hands, perfect zone scheme center. Drives nose tackles, defensive tackles off the ball consistently, can be over aggressive, finishes blocks with the best of them. Zack Frasier is mean. Pancake City, plug and play starter. Amazing at leading the way on quarterback sneaks. At his best, the first few seconds of a block. 2,500 snaps at center in 3 years. Whew. He did get injured in the very last game of 2023, but participated in the combine anyway. I mean, the dude is just 4-time state champion wrestler, and this is all in our draft book. We've got 250 prospects we're working through. That's going to be ready probably the second week of April, just after the first week. I don't have the official launch date yet, but every player is going to have a write-up like this. PFF scores, all that stuff. He's awesome. I really do like a meaner Nick Mangold is my comp. I have a second round grade. My 49ers fit out a scale of 1 to 10. He's a 9. He's a 9. And yeah, pass blocking, he's got a 77.9, which is solid. It's not the best, but my favorite thing about him is he doesn't get pushed back. That's not where his issues in pass protection are. It's with the more kind of quick, stunts and things like that. But whenever he locks up with somebody, he wins. He wins. I really, really do like this guy. So we're doing it. We're doing it. We're taking Zack Frasier, pick number 42, offensive center, but he can play guard too. And so he can back up. He can play all three spots. And I think eventually he'd be the center for the 49ers. I'm taking him. Boom. Now, as this draft goes, our next pick is pick 59. Excuse me. So I'm going to go to 50. There we go. So at pick 50, let's see who's on the board, because I'm already seeing somebody awesome there. Rook Orhorhoro out of Clemson, defensive tackle. Inish Rakestraw, perfect fit out of Missouri. He's a slot guy. Cooper Beebe. Now, I doubt the 49ers bring in 2 interior guys. I know somebody listening to this show is like, man, get a guard. We got a center. Get a guard. Let's get a whole new old line. I don't see them taking 2 of those. But yeah, Rook sitting there. Rook jump up, says Hugo. I would not mind that at all. Malik Corley, he's already been dubbed the Debo of this draft, which I disagree with. Chris Broswell, love that. Patrick Paul, offensive tackle with a lot of experience. Tavian Sanders. Man, I don't want to trade up, guys. If I did trade up, I'm taking Rook. I love that defensive tackle out of Clemson, but we're picking in 9 spots, and there's like 8 dudes I love. And so we're guaranteed Ricky Pearsall's there, Marshawn Nealand. So now we're into the meat and potatoes of this draft. And yeah, Vince, I love this comment. Broswell this far down, Paul, so many good players. This is the best thing about this draft. And I put this out on Twitter, and I was like, this is one of the most fun drafts I can remember, from the purpose of 49ers fits with the strength of this draft. Because there's pairings. What do the 49ers need? Offensive line help. There's more centers and tackles in this draft than I can remember. Defensive edge class, that's a little rough. Defensive tackles stacked. Corners stacked. The positions the 49ers need, there are spots everywhere. And another thing, I've done a few of these mock drafts just on my own, whenever I'm drinking like at night and watching March Madness or something. There are defensive tackles that I like in the first, second, third, fourth rounds every single time. So Rook is my favorite player that is on the board currently. If we traded up for him, I'd be very happy. However, let's look at the defensive tackle kind of selection here. You got Rook. Leonard Taylor's awesome. Chris Jenkins, Brandon Fisk, McKinley Jackson I'm high on. Dwayne Carter's decent. Mason Smith I really like. These are guys you can get day 3. So to trade up for a position of strength is like, man, there's so many. It has the most depth. It's supply and demand. It has the most supply. So if something falls in our lap, cool. But I'm going to overrule you guys. I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait. All right? Cub says this. Every draft is the best draft to remember. I don't think so. I do not feel that way about a lot of drafts. But there are so many defensive tackles. So I don't think I'm gonna trade up. Now I'm gonna wait. Let's resume the draft. Cooper goes, Bay Brad goes, Max Melton just went. Somebody asked about Max a while ago, and he went to the Rams. By golly. Oh, I hate the Rams. Inish Rakestraw just went. Now, that's the guy that I would have liked. But Rook's still sitting there. Chris Broswell's still sitting there. We're 4 picks away. Jalen Polk gone. Patrick Paul gone. Trey Benson gone. Trice gone. Kalen Carson gone. Guys, we are on the clock, and Rook Orhorhoro is still there. We were going to trade up for him. Now, let's just look at some of these trade offers. Kansas City Chiefs says drop back 5 picks and pick up 173. No. Drop back 1 pick. And pick up a 5th rounder next year. The Niners lost a 5th rounder next year because they squirmed the numbers. Drop back 1 pick in the 2nd round and pick up a 5th next year. Whew. That Bills trade. So, okay, I'm going to ask you guys. Let's see it. We're on the clock. Do we want to play with our food, or do we just want to take the cake? So we could take Rook right here and walk away and be happy. Or we could fall back 1 spot. Now, Buffalo Bills is a team that highly covets defensive linemen. So I need everybody to say trade or Rook. Those are the only 2 things I wanted to chat. Trade or Rook. Okay? This is fun. We're gambling. Take Rook. Rook. Trade. Take the cake. I don't know what that Paul says take the cake. I think that means Rook. Bills trade. Take Rook. Oh, it's close. Suspense. Take the trade. Don't risk it. Trade. Rook. It's split, man. Rook. Trade. Oh, man. This 50-50. And here's what's okay. Let's look at this. What happens if we trade back and they take Rook? What would we do? Chris Broswell, probably the defensive end. Yeah. Chris Broswell. I mean, Braden Fisk is there. I didn't like him near as much as everybody else does. You know, you're looking at these are my rankings, okay? Rook is my 3rd defensive tackle, and he's in a tier by himself. I have an early 2nd round grade on him. After Rook, my defensive tackles, whole nother tier drops. Rook's by himself. Chris Jenkins, Tavondre Sweat, Brandon Fisk. We could get Jenkins, but he's a tier below. Oh. Yeah, this is rough. And this is rough. I'm going to gamble. It's a mock draft. Y'all can hate me. I'm taking it. I want that 5th rounder. Oh, man, I hope they don't take him. I'm taking it. Oh, they took Xavier Legette. Woo! We made it, guys. We made it. Not only did we not trade up for Rook, not only did we get him when we were on the clock, we traded back 1. We got our 5th for next year. I can't wait to get my vote for GM of the year. I was going to get fired early. Now I'm about to get extended. That's the power of the 2nd round. I'm taking Rook, Orhorhoro, all name team, baby. There we go. And look at that. We're right back on the board. Because we fell back so far in the 1st round, we're right back on the board. Pick 63, our original pick. And we've already got Zack Frasier. We already got Rook building through the trenches, the interior. God, I love this draft. Ugh. Flexing on them, baby. So, all right. I mean, Chris Braswell, that's top of my list. Let's go through some offensive tackles and just see if anything is available. Kieran Armagagi, Roger Rosengartner, Blake Fisher. I just want to let everybody know I am higher on Kieran Armagagi out of Yale than anybody I've seen. And I don't say that because, I'm trying to like flex and say I discovered or no. I'm saying they have him valued at pick number 93, Kieran Armagagi, offensive tackle, Yale. I have him right below Jordan Morgan. And whenever I first did this, I had him above Jordan Morgan. And I keep they're in the same tier by themselves. He's my offensive tackle 7. I love this kid. I really, really do. Now, Yale, obviously there's some issues there. But, yeah, we'll see. Let's go through some more positions. Malachi Corley out of West Virginia. He's the Debo guy, tackle breaker, big-bodied, all those things. Chris Broswell. I haven't finished my write-up on him. Let me pull this up real quick just to kind of see. So on mock draft database, They have Broswell going 51 overall. We're sitting here at 63. So, that's about right where he's going to go. He's a fun player. Let me see here. Let me open up my notes here. Let's go to Broswell, just get a little bit of the read on him. So, nope, not him. There we go. Chris Broswell, 6'3", 251 out of Alabama. Impressive athlete. Explosive, natural strength, athleticism to turn and run, fast hands. He's stiff. Hand usage could, use some help. Sometimes he looks awesome. Sometimes it's like, what is this guy doing? Still learning the timing. He's only been a starter for 1 full year, but had 13 sacks. Very productive. Very productive. Now you look at his measurables. Arm length's great. Trent Baalke would approve. 33 plus inches. Tiny hands. Ran a 4.6 40. That's solid. It's just the lower body's not there. The explosiveness, the broad jump, all those things. And so this is what you're getting. This is what you're getting here. And I've heard Johnny Dale say you could take him at 31 and he'd be happy. Jatavian Sanders, playmaker. Niners met with him. Tight end out of Texas. Ben Sinnott. Chris Jenkins. We don't need another defensive tackle. Let's see here. We got a center. Ricky Pearsall. That's fun. Love me Ricky Pearsall. Edge, Marshawn Nealand. He's climbing up a lot of different charts. You're seeing him on a lot of stuff. But if I'm saying player probably highest on my rankings, Chris Broswell. If I'm saying position of need, then I'm saying Kieran Armor-Gagey. So now we're sitting here, and again, at the offensive tackle position, we don't pick for a while. Our next pick's 94. We're at 63. None of these players are going to be around. I want to put 2 players up to you. I'm not trading back here. I'm not even going to look at their offers. I don't want to do that. I might want to trade up for one of these 2 guys that doesn't fall. I'm saying Chris Broswell, would be awesome, or I'm saying Kieran Armor-Gagey. So those are the 2 that stand out to me. Oh, man. Yeah, right here. Invader, he says, if Sanders could start 2 tight end sets, that could be interesting. He is an absolute playmaker. I mean, he's in the Travis Kelce mold of tight end school. That's what he is. An absolute playmaker, not the best athlete. He just makes plays and catches. You get him the ball in space, and he just, dumpster fire Dan. I've seen Rosengardner everywhere, 2nd to 4th round. I haven't got through his tape on the second go-through yet, so I don't have him rated on my big board. And there's some things I really like there. So we're not trading back. Go with Kieran, Broswell. Broswell, got to protect Brock. If that's it right here. Floyd says, do you like Fisher or Rosengard? They're going to probably be close to the same tier. I'm not high on either, to be honest with you, Floyd. Not high on either. And a lot of people really like Fisher. I got to do my last run through a tape on him. So I've got my raw notes after going through just like a quick kind of quarter of tape, but I don't ever finish my grade and say this is where they are until my second go through. And I haven't done that on Blake Fisher yet. So, Broswell. So this is rough, man, because there's 2 studs. Defensive end or tackle. I think we can get some defensive ends late. So I'm going to jump in, and a lot of people might disagree with me here. I'm going Kieran Armor-Gagey. And let me tell you what I like about this guy. That's going to be our pick. 6'5", 323 out of Yale. 36-inch arms. Some of the longest arms. Like if you're in the arm length, 34 is the cutoff. This dude, 36 and an eighth. Mean. Started left guard for a season, then left tackle for 2. The level of competition at Yale is problematic. Now, whenever you're grading a player and you say, look, if you're playing down to lower competition, you better dominate all the time. He checks that damn box. That dude is throwing these kids around like rag dolls. Amazing feet, some of the longest arms you'll ever see. Destroys players play after play. Huge risk. Where are we at? We're at the back end of the second round. Because we traded up and got our defensive tackle in Rook, and we already got a center, like this is the type of pick I like. I really do. Now, here's the negative and why he'll be available. One, he played at Yale. Two, partially torn quad at the end of the season that ended it. He's already up working out. Medical's huge, but the ceiling on this kid is gigantic. Both his parents were from Africa. He's got 1,500 career snaps, and he's one of the highest graded zone players. You talk about a perfect scheme fit. He has an 87.2 zone grade. Like, he moves well in space. Elijah Vera Tucker's my player comp for him. I really do like this kid. Oh, right here, Kieran is a waste. William, glad to have you. I've never seen you make a comment before, but I appreciate it. I freaking love this kid, man. Kieran's rising. So here's the problem with tackles. This is my own opinion. There's top tier tackles, and then there's just a bunch of wasted guys. What happened last year? The 49ers were on the clock. They took a kicker, right? And they asked Kyle, they asked John, and they said, man, what about offensive line? And they said, no, I disagree with this, but this is their thinking. We didn't think we had anybody in the draft that could compete with the guys we have. That's Jalen Moore. That's Colton McKivitz. That's Matt Berth, who's gone now, but Pryor, who's gone now. That's how tackles are in the NFL. It's the most devoid of talent position. So once you get, we're at pick 63. Once you get here, I don't know. This is a risky pick. If y'all want safe, we can go with Jatavian Sanders. If you want safe, we can go with Broswell. But there are no tackles after this. None. There's none. You can draft somebody like in the 5th or 6th, but like, I don't know. Oh, look at this. Josh, appreciate the super chat, my friend. It says 158 people watching, man. We got a bunch more on Twitter. We're all over the place, but wherever you are, yeah, like the video. We would appreciate that. Subscription would be huge. So y'all talk me out of this. Y'all want Jatavian Sanders, the playmaking tight end, or do you want the offensive lineman? I kind of want to swing for upside here. We need tackles. Tight ends, this tight end class sucks. It's pretty bad. It's one of my least favorites. I don't know. Dumpster Fire says, yeah, you got to get tackle here or trade down a few picks for value. Okay. I don't mind that. You won't find another tackle with this potential this late. Spot on, John. The market demands we take Kieran. Hey, OT, Sanders. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Let's see if there's a trade offer where we fall down a little bit. There's not one. There's a trade with the Rams, and we'd have to fall back 20 picks. That's the only offer we got. So the negative on that one, Ghost Rider. We got to stay where we're at. I'm taking Kieran. I'm going with my tape. I'm going with my eyes. I love the kid. I really do. I'm taking Kieran Armigagi. And I know some people are going to be pissed off, and that's okay. Broswell's still there. Is he still there? Ricky Pearsall went. Ben Sinnott. Broswell's still there. What would it take to trade up right here? This is a little silly. All right, let's see. Let's go to the trade calculator. All right, we're at pick 72 for the Jets. 72 is worth 230. Our 94 is worth 124. We got to make up 100 points. We don't have the value of that. We could offer 2 fourths. Our 124 is worth 48. Let's try. And we're just going to keep doing this trade just like what we did in the first round to try to jump up. So I'm going to offer 94, 124, and a 7, 211. I'm doing 211. I don't think 211. That's our end of our 6th round to jump up to 72. Propose, trying it. Nope, rejected. All right, next one up, Malachi. We're going to do it again. Now we've got the Lions on the clock. Where we go? Let's see. Where the Dan Campbell's at? Got finding dead people half-eaten in their stadium. I don't know if y'all heard about that. Look that up. That's a trip. All right, so I'm trying to jump up 21 spots. Our number 120, or sorry, not our first, 94. Our third, 124. Our fourth, I'm going to do 176 for 73. Propose, Trade accepted. We're on the board. We're on the clock. And I'm taking Chris Broswell. Boom. Now let's do this, baby. No, I'm rejected all trades. I traded up. I'm not going to trade out. We're taking Chris Broswell. Man, we're building a badass draft. And now I'm going to let the draft run for a while. We got Zack Frasier, Rook Orhorhoro, Kieran Armageddon, and Chris Broswell. Are you kidding me? We got 2 D linemen and 2 O linemen? Woo! I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad even a little bit. I'm feeling great. Right here, Uncle Salty says, never realistic to do more than 1 or 2 trades in a mock. Come on, John. You said so. You said we did 2 trades. But yeah, I'm with you. We haven't traded much. We really, really haven't. But, also, John Lynch tied the record for most trades his first year. Then we haven't had draft capital since they traded up for Trey Lance. They did trade up once last year for Jair Brown. So there is some of that. But yeah, we trade. And I love pairing. If you trade up, I want you to trade back later. If you trade back, I want you to trade up. I want value in those spots because I want to grab some and I want to give some. That's just the way I want to handle it personally. I know people might disagree. That's okay. All right, the 49ers are back on the clock. Pick 134. Sorry, 132. There we go. We got pick 132, 211, 215, 251. So we've got 5 picks left. Let's see here. All right, here we go. We got 2 picks, 132, 135. Lots have changed. Lots of running backs still on the board. I'm not sure 132 is where, back into the 4th round. I don't mind it. Blake Corum, Jalen Wright, Ray Davis, Marshawn Lloyd. They're all there. Theo Johnson, the tight end, Penn State. Like him. Javon Solomon, edge. He's a guy I keep hearing people talk about jumping up. He's really, really rising. Javon Solomon out of Troy, edge player. I liked him a lot. Ooh, Bo Limmer's there. We already got a center. We don't need centers. Jacob Cowing, tiny little wide receiver out of Arizona. He's fun. Shaheem Bell, tight end. Javon Baker. Whoo! I like that. That's a good pairing. We're not doing any more linemen. Luke McCaffrey's there. As we're scrolling. No more. We don't need more edge guys. Linebacker Curtis Jacobs, Penn State. He fits. He fits well. Elijah Jones. So probably the biggest need has to be corner would be my assumption. Elijah Jones, MJ Devonshire, Brownlee, Jarian Jones, DeAndre Prince. Like, man, I'm just going to be real. Like, I'm out on a lot of these guys. I just haven't got to them yet as we work down the board. We're at pick 132. Yeah, I'm seeing right here, Brownlee, junior corner, Corum would set our running back for 10 years. Yeah, right. We'd still take one. Javon Baker. Yeah, Baker, the wide receiver. Luke McCaffrey, Jerry and Jones. I like these. But yeah, the corners, man, I don't know. Javon Baker just, gosh, I like that dude. He's just a fun player. 6'1", 202. Let's go over here. Let's see what I got in my notes on him. Javon Baker. Oop, I spelled his name wrong. There we go. No, he's not pulling up on there. Sorry about that, guys. Central Florida. I mean, he's fun. You look at, he's got his drop rate's not terrible. Ran a 4.5 40, 6'1", 202. 22 years old. Contested catch rate's good. He's like a Juju Smith-Schuster type of guy. Fun player. I wouldn't be mad at him at all. I know Wayne picked him in his. Shout out to Wayne as always. He's the best. I do not want to take a running back. I really, really don't. There's some good linebackers that are available. Aaron Casey, Cedric Johnson, Curtis Jacobs. And so once we get here, it's like, man, we just got to look at these guys. 6'1", 185 for Elijah Jones. I like Brownlee. 5'10", 186 for Devonshire. And right here, this is the thing. Brownlee out of Louisville, 5'11", 175. I know that he plays nickel, and I'm just going to take that spot right there because it is a prime need. So we're going Jarvis Brownlee, cornerback out of Louisville. He can play inside. He can play outside. I think nickel's probably going to be where we want him, but we'll go with that. All right, back up. Last pick of round 4. A lot of the same guys are still on the clock. Still not thinking. I want to go tight end. And I'm sitting here looking at Theo Johnson. And, man, I really do like him out of Penn State. He's an athlete, 6'6", 259, big dude, 4'5", 40. Already met with the Niners. He's older, 23, great Senior Bowl, after the catch specialist, fun player. Blocking solid, a lighter Mercedes Lewis. That was my thing. And I got a 4th-round grade on him. Theo Johnson fits a need. That's our tight end 2. You let Cameron Latu and Braden Willis fight it out for that number tight end 3 spot. It's going to be Braden Willis. But I'm taking Theo Johnson here. And so now we're plugging these spots. You know, we went 2 O linemen, 2 D linemen. Then we went with the nickel corner. Then we went with the tight end. This is fun. And yeah, there's a lot of guys that I see right here. JB says best player available is Corum. Running backs, best player available during the whole thing, man. I love it. Now we're coming. Because we traded up, we don't have a pick for a long time, but we're not picking until 211. But man, look at this draft. Traded back, got Zack Frasier. That was huge. Rook Arroyo, he fell to us, right? That was the additional pick we got in the trade back because we dropped back like 11 spots, and we got the stud himself, Zack Frasier, and Rook. Then we got Kieran Armigedge. That's probably the most questionable pick we have so far with the chat. You guys disagreed with that one. Then we jumped back up and got Chris Broswell. Gosh, that's huge. Talk about building through the trenches. You got a center, got a DT, got a tackle, got an edge. Then we got a corner and Jarvis Brownlee out of Louisville. And we got Theo Johnson, tight end out of Penn State. Man, I am not upset about this at all. Now we're back on the clock at 211. And now it's just kind of, once you get here, we're at round 6. At the end of round 6, you're just kind of taking best available that you think fits. I'm going to just be very honest. Wide receiver is something that stands out to me here. I haven't graded a lot of these guys, but this seems to be the spot where, like, man, if you don't go wide receiver early, there's a lot of guys. Ooh, Josh Cephas. Yeah. 6'2", 189. Cornelius Johnson, 6'2", 212. That's a little bit more bulky than what we're used to, but I like it. He's a Michigan guy. I don't like Michigan guys. Let's see here. Bub, I remember him from the combine. Defensively, linebacker. Let's see if somebody's there. Omar Speed, 6'1", 235. Tackling machine out of LSU. Rocked up second-level defender. We like longer guys. Darius, 5'11", no. Luke Reamer, 6'1", no. Mahima, yeah, I mean, we're missing a lot of the stud kind of, linebackers that are just jacked. Now, Christian Board's a fun player. Defensive tackle, Northern Iowa. Having a hard time getting his tape, but I love the write-up on him. I've seen some stuff on YouTube, but as far as like coaching tape, I haven't found that yet. I wouldn't mind getting another defensive tackle here. Yeah, that seems to be where Miles Cole out of Tech, edge guy. Ooh, Carson Seal, running back. And taking a running back here would be a problem. And I don't even think taking a quarterback here would be a problem if somebody's there. Carter Bradley, Sam Hartman. Yeah, not really sold on any of these guys. We'll wait there. So I'm going to go with just biggest player on the board, Christian Boyd, defensive tackle, Northern Iowa. One of my favorite things the Niners do is when they draft 2 of the same position, because it seems like one always hits, right? You get Ambry Thomas, Demo hits. You get Trey Sermon, you get Elijah Mitchell hits. You get Cameron Latu, Braden Willis somewhat hits for a late 7th, right? Back on the clock, we got to get a wide receiver. Let's go Cornelius Johnson, 6'2", 212. He's Michigan, which I hate. But let's get a wide receiver there at pick 215. And again, I'm kind of drafted blind, positions of need right here. I've not done work on these players yet. I've got basic write-ups on them, but we are not there yet. We'll get there. Floyd says scout Anthony Gold. All right. Yeah, he's on my list. He's on my list. But right now I'm working on, first, second, third rounders, and then we'll push back and we'll just keep kind of looping through everything. That's just the way that we do it. And again, like, I understand there are draft services out there that do amazing, way better job than what I do because they do it year round. My thing is I'm trying to give you the 49ers view, not necessarily my view, but the 49ers view through my eyes on what fits and what doesn't fit in the players that I think they target. That's the idea. Last pick for us, 251. Now is the time we can take a quarterback or a wide receiver, or a running back. Ooh, Dillian Johnson. He was fun. Does get injured a lot, but damn, he's really, really good. Safety, Al Walcott. Just scrolling through these guys. Solomon Boyd. Lots of decent players here. Devin Leary out of Kentucky. 6'1", 215. Very accurate in the short area. That's our guy. We're taking Devin Leary, quarterback, Kentucky, with our last pick. I think that was our last pick. Yeah. Now we're just waiting for the draft to end. And there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 9 players, and we picked up our 5th rounder that we lost. I ain't mad for this. This is a damn good draft. Now, I got no Nepo babies. I got 0. And I see everybody, Gore Jr., Gore Jr., Gore Jr. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't see it. But maybe we'll get him as an undrafted free agent. But yeah, looking at this haul, you get 9 players, plus we got our 5th rounder back next year. I like that. Zack Frasier, offensive center, Western Michigan. One of my favorite players in this draft. Rook Orhorhoro, out of Clemson, defensive tackle, building in the trenches. Kieran Armigage, I'm probably higher on than most. Chris Broswell, I don't think he'll be there at 73. Somebody's going to fall in this draft. Don't think it'll be him. Somebody's going to fall in this draft. It just happens every time. 132, Jarvis Brownlee, corner. 135, Theo Johnson, tight end. 211, Christian Boyd. 215, Christian Boyd's defensive tackle, Northern Iowa. 215, Cornelius Johnson, wide receiver, Michigan. 251, quarterback, Kentucky, Devin Leary. And again, that 5th rounder, which I kind of like. I would be very, very happy with this draft, personally. Build in the trenches. Man, I love Zack Frasier. I don't know. This is fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, right here, Hugo, amazing draft. Be happy with it. Hey, Invader Nider likes my stuff. That happened a lot. He says, yeah, I'd be happy with this draft. Okay, cool. Vince, Rook and his family immigrated from Nigeria when he was young. His parents wanted the American dream for the kid, and Rook is doing it. How do you not get behind that? Absolutely love that. Oh, Mel gave me the nice job, buddy. I like the buddy right there. I like that. And yeah, right here, Cubs. You hit on 1 or 2. The question is, which 1 or 2? It's a crapshoot. That's just the draft. And it's so easy to point out to all the negatives and all the misses. But man, you look at this 49ers roster, it is loaded with homegrown drafted all-pros. Way more than any other team. Way more. Now, does that mean every player is the best ever and blah, blah? No, everybody's got their weaknesses. And yeah, should have won the Super Bowl and all that. But you pick guys that you think fit. And the Niners have been doing a pretty damn good job of that. And this is the first draft in a while that the Niners actually have capital. We haven't had a 1st or 2nd round draft pick in a minute. Yeah, right here, Paul says, as long as Frasier hits, I'd love this draft. I'm high on Frasier. I just cannot see that dude missing. Worst case, he's a guard, which we need. Not mad at that at all. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Remember, we do have our Zoom hangout this Thursday, upcoming 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's on the 49ersrush.com. You can head over there. Jerry Rice tearing up. All of our video breakdowns, those are for Frank Gore and up. But yeah, the best way to support the show, help us out. Until next time, that's going to do it. Sundays, football, baby. You are the best. Till next time, stay strong, faithful.